Good morning, everyone. It is a terrific Thursday here in Kansas, and once again, I have the beautiful Roxana of Life with Roxana with me this morning. We had such a good time on Tuesday. I invited her back, and she's like, "Yes, of course." So, I want to say a shout out because I know she'll be in the chat. Kelly of the Mickey Bunch. I hope you have a fantastic day. I know that you're going to be peeking in. And then I have a message for you, Miss Roxana. I have to find it so I get exactly correct. Hello, Christine Hickman. Hello, hello. How are you? Okay. Scrolling up because I know. Okay. Hey, Roxana. Cargo says I lava you.
I love her too. She's awesome.
Hello, Miss Jenny. She can't be in right now because she is homeschooling her girls. So she wanted me to pass along a message because I got in trouble on Tuesday. If you didn't see in the chat, you didn't tell me that my girl was on. So I messaged her last night. I was like, hey, I've got a special guest tomorrow. So Roxana and I have been kind of chatting backstage for about the past 15 minutes, and we were talking about swaps and collabs, and I want to know what you guys in the chat think. And oh my gosh, my cat has to really stop shedding because it lands on my nose and drives me bonkers. If you've ever participated in one, Roxana and I both have. What do you typically like to put in your boxes? Because I know that there is. Oh, I got it! You guys don't understand. Peach's hair. I was trying to pick it up because it flew onto my little. It's like massively long. It's all the way down. It's like from up here at my fingers down to like the junction of my thumb. It is so long. Peaches, you really have to stop shedding, love. But I mean, if she didn't shed, then she would be uber sick because she's so fluffy. Oh my gosh, Jenny says life is coming full circle. Roxana, you keep coming up on my suggested on Instagram, and now I know who you are. Yay! Damn, both sets. Like Roxana is like blowing up. Like I need little firecracker things to go off because she's like 400 and then she was at 500 and I don't know what you're at now. You're probably like at 1,000 by now. I mean, good grief, girlfriend. I'm so happy for you. Like I know that you've been working really hard on your channel.
Yeah. The last time I checked, I was almost at 540. So I'm getting close to where you're at.
All right, now I have to know. Life is not spelled L-O, it's spelled F-L-I.
Oh, autocorrect. You're drunk.
536. Woohoo! Yeah. You're just moving on up, girl. I am like so excited for you.
Yeah, it's really crazy. It's just like people have been finding me like left and right. I'm like, where are you guys coming from?
But anyway. So, anyway, back to collab boxes. We were talking about the cost of putting them together. Jacqueline, hello. Tina Marie, hello, Miss Marie. If you have not checked out Tina's channel, you really need to. She has done she's amazing. She's been doing some of the progressive meal collabs. If you remember my Lego earrings, she is the maker of my Lego earrings.
Those are cute.
They're super cute, and I'm amazed at how crafty Tina is. So if you want Lego earrings like I have, message her on Instagram. A few weeks ago I was in a very theme parky mood, so I had on my Legoland earrings. I had my sunglasses. I think I was wearing this blue tank too, actually. I had my sunglasses on. I was ready to. I'm like, all right, send me to Legoland. I am good to go. So collab boxes. And my worry always, and I mean, I don't know if it's a worry, but I'm sure it's something that's crossed your mind as well, Roxana.
Yeah.
That like when you put time and effort and money into a box, and we were discussing that as well. Like we want our box to be the best it can be. So even if there's a price limit, then we tend to go over it. But
Yeah.
you always wonder, like the box that you get, like did the other person put that much effort into your box? Like did they just throw some stuff in a box and mail it?
See, and I'm not gonna say who, but I've gotten a box from someone where they they somewhat followed my preferences, but then they threw in a bunch of things where it's just like weren't on my preference list. I'm like, did you check to ask anyone around if that was something that I would like? And it's like I'm thankful that they thought of me, but at the same time, the things that they threw in were just like, I'm not. What am I gonna use this for? Like, um,
Right.
so one of the things they threw in was a book, and I don't have a whole lot of time to read. Any time that I read is like audiobooks. So like a physical copy of a book, like I have a short attention span and I can't sit and like read for a long period of time. Kudos to anyone that can. I can't. So I have any books that I have is on audio, and uh, that's how I obtain everything that's in that book. And it's just like, and it was a book that was like one of the that's based on some Disney character, and like it was one of the characters that I like, but I don't have time to read books because my
Right.
my
Right.
my job is really quick, fast paced, and by the time I get home, I'm just like zonked out. I don't want to do anything, and it's just like, did you follow my preferences down to a T? Because if you did, books are not. I never put books on my preference list because I just don't have time, and any books that I do want to read are on audio. So
Right. I really love the collabs and the box exchanges. Like it
yeah,
really is fun to get like that little bit of magic in the mail. But like
yeah,
right now, like it's tough for everyone.
yeah, it is.
Sam and I were talking about Christmas with my we were talking about that with my parents over the past weekend from on Mother's Day, and because my parents al- always want my mom starts shopping in August, and so everybody thinks I'm crazy for shopping in July, but my mom starts in August and she always wants a list, excuse me, from us, which and that's really difficult because typically if there's something that Sam and I want, we buy it. And
Yeah.
mom and dad is 80 years old. He'll be 81 next month, and he refuses to do direct deposit. The only reason he gets his Social Security as a direct deposit is because they made him. Otherwise, he would still get a paper check. And they still offer for your tax refund as a check. And dad literally will set it on the shelf. Like if this is where my dad sets, the computer would be the shelf on the wall.
Yeah.
He'll stare at it for like a couple weeks before even taking it to the bank. And I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? He's like, well, I want to look at it. I want to hold it. And I'm like,
It's
you
a
could have had
check.
I'm like, it's a check. I could draw you one with a crayon, Dad. Really. Like, if you want to hold it. Um, and he's like, well, I want to make sure it's right. And I'm like, all you have to do is go to the bank, Dad. I mean, but I mean, he's almost 81 years old. I mean, he's set in the way that he wants to do it. Like
Yeah.
even going to Walmart, Dad pays with a check. And I remember when they started doing the automatic check processing and they handed him back the check, Dad like about flipped out and he's like, "What do you mean you handed me back my check?" "Well, we processed it directly." "What do you mean you processed it directly?" I mean, I was probably in like maybe 5th or 6th grade when that happened, and I just like traumatized him. I'm like, and now my mom has a debit card, and Dad's like, "I will never use that thing. I don't like using that thing. I want to have cash or a check." And I'm like, "Dad, really? Debit card is safer than safer than a check because like you could lose a check." But
Yeah.
God loves my mom. Sam and Dad were doing something outside, and Dad walks in carrying Mom's debit card, and it was laying on the front porch. I'm like, "Wow, Mom, how long has your debit card been on the front porch?" "Well, I had it a couple days ago."
Uh,
Okay, Mom.
parents, parents, and entering the 21st century is always a kick.
Then like I grew up as a military brat, married my husband who's in the army, and
Yeah.
growing up like this, and I still have this is like gold. I mean, you don't lose this, you don't misplace it, you don't like nothing. You know where this is at all times. Especially with Sam because when he was active, he had some pretty high security clearances, and so I always had to know where that thing was. Well, we were headed up to Fort Riley with my parents. We were going to go do Thanksgiving shopping. Think it was last year for Thanksgiving, and we get closer to Bay, and about 30 minutes outside of Junction City, Dad goes, "All right, everybody, I need your cards," because they have to scan them as you go through the gate.
Yeah.
And so and Mom's digging through her purse, digging through this little black flip wallet, which I will say, Dad bought me for Christmas when I first got my ID card at the age of 10, and my mom hijacked it from me. Which is like, and Mom can't find her ID card, nowhere to be found. So we have to go in a back gate so that Mom can get a pass, and Dad's about to blow a gasket, and I'm sitting here going, "I'm not leaving Mom and Dad, you can go inside. I'm not leaving the vehicle. I need you to get out." Because as soon as they were like a good distance away, Sam and I were busting up laughing in the car because I mean, Dad acted like Mom had like given away their bank account info. And I'm like, "Dad, it will take 30 seconds to get a new one. I've lost mine." And it was lost in the truck. It had fallen down in between the seat and the center panel, down in the tracks of the where like you can adjust your seat like forwards and back. We
Yeah.
happened to be sliding it backwards to clean, and all of a sudden like my ID card shoots out from under the seat. So it was like stuck in there, and it just took him
Yeah.
like he's like it's caught on something because Sam doesn't really move his seat around too much. And I
Yeah.
had ran to the store and I had pulled it up, and so it must have been after I got back home.
Yeah.
And it was so funny, but we had to go sit at the ID card place and get me a new ID card. But so like yeah, parents coming into the 21st century, entertaining to say the
Yeah.
least. God love my parents. God love my parents. Okay, guilty pleasure TV shows. What are your guilty pleasure TV shows? Like, it's a binge watch that you're like, I don't care what else is on. I know this show's on, and I'm watching it because I can.
Well, when the show was on, and it's no longer on air, Once Upon a Time was my guilty pleasure. I would love it. People can be like, "Are you watching this show?" And be like, "I'm watching Once Upon a Time. I don't care what you." And it's just that would be the thing that I would like binge watch the entire season, and I'll be like, "Okay, when's the next season? I need to know more."
Right?
So
That's hilarious.
yeah.
Mine is I love court TV shows because they make me laugh for the most part. I mean, you get some that are like, well, um, I was beating her up, so now she's suing me and she should still love me. Yet you get a few of those, but
Yeah.
it's like, well, I'm suing my sister because I loaned her $25 to get a manicure and she hasn't paid me back. And the judge is kind of looking at him like, what?
What on earth?
Uh, 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 really? Or, well, my dad put my box of toys from when I was 2 in the garbage, and he didn't even give me a chance to get them. And I'm 46, and I should have had an opportunity to take those. And you're going, well, you're lucky that at 46 your parents still had your toys from when you were 2. Why did they still have your toys from when you were 2? But I can't say much on that because the upper rafters of my parents' garage is full of
Yeah.
my old toys from when I was growing up. I could probably make some money off of the toys that are up there. Because I guarantee there's some unopened Happy Meal toys.
Yeah, my parents still have a whole bunch of my childhood toys. It's still in boxes in the basement. My dad's like, you need to go down there and organize all that and figure out what you want to get rid of. It's like, no, that all of that's gonna be passed on to my future kids. So it's just like, nope, we're not touching it.
Yeah,
Especially my Beanie Babies. I have an entire tub full of Beanie Babies, like original ones, and
yep,
it's just like
yep.
I'm not getting rid of those. Those are being passed on to when I have kids, and it's just like,
Or one day they will be looking for a specific Beanie Baby, and I will have that Beanie Baby, and I will be able to make $25 off of my $10 Beanie Baby.
yeah. It's like the Princess Diana Beanie Baby. She's that one is just like everyone's after that one because it's priceless.
Well, there's 2 different types of that particular Beanie Baby, and one of them has the wrong fill inside of it, and that's the only thing that makes it like they makes people want it. Is because
Yeah.
it's the different type of like the Beanie Baby fill. They like messed up. So, oh, cool. I was invited to a pampering party with Posh. It's a home-based business, and we were playing a game a couple of days ago, and
Yeah.
it was guess how many samples make up this heart. And I kind of was sitting there I was trying to do math, and I was
Yeah.
like, okay, I counted 58, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna add 2 just like for heck's sake because somebody else had guessed 58 and I won. I guess with 16 I was the closest. I'm like, hey, that's pretty darn cool. Jenny says she got a box of toys sent her way yesterday from her mom. Some good Disney stuff. Ooh, I can't wait to see that video. Anna Travels, good morning. So the back to the Beanie Baby thing, like when they were in the McDonald's toys, and this
Yeah.
was like before you could go in and say, hey, I want to buy like one of every Beanie Baby Happy Meal toy. You actually had to buy Happy Meals, and they all of the Beanie they weren't like they are now, like this is week 1 and this is week 2 and this is week 3. They were just like
Yeah.
all combined in a big box, like refrigerator half size box, and they just grabbed one and threw it in your Happy Meal. Well, back when we were kids,
Yeah.
Happy Meals during they had a lunch period. It was like 11 to 1 or 11 to 2. All kids Happy Meals were 50 cents during the summer. Do
Yeah.
you remember that?
Yeah, they were cheap.
They were. And so my aunt was a school teacher, and she would have to
Yeah.
go for summer trainings, and so my mom would go down to Oklahoma and to watch my cousin. She was about 4 years older than I was. But my aunt would leave money so that every day mom bought $10 worth of Happy Meals so that we could see what Beanie Baby toys were in them. So for like it was always my favorite week because like we didn't go out to eat a whole lot. Like
Yeah.
Saturdays, there used to be McDonald's here in Hillsborough, now it's a Wendy's. But going to McDonald's was like a once a month thing with my dad on a Saturday. I got McDonald's for a full week. Like I could have it because, and like you have to realize there were 2 of us. My mom ate one and my grandma would eat one, but that's only $2 out of 10. So we were eating Happy Meals for breakfast. We were eating Happy Meals for dinner. We were taking out the toys and we were walking around the block with her wagon with these Happy Meal boxes in the wagon and giving them out to people. So I mean, kid parents today get excited that Wendy's has like $1.99 kids meals, and I'm like, I remember, and you are my age person, that when those Happy Meals were 50 cents, you know. It was a summer promo, and it started like right in the middle of about this time because it
Yeah.
was like a schools out, kind of promotional type thing.
Yeah. See, that would be me as a parent where school's out. I'll be like, okay, so where do you guys want to eat today for breakfast? We're not eating at home. We're going out.
Right? So it's just kind of fun. It's funny the things that we remember like from growing up that like it's today we're like, wow, like we get excited over really small things, and I'm going, man, I remember when these were 50 cents. Another one of my guilty pleasure TV shows is Law and Order Special Victims Unit. I love Mariska Haggerty. She is amazing, and the good guys always win. I love that part. My husband hates this show. I, and he hates court TV shows. So I'll like pause it when he comes home for lunch, and he'll be like, "SVU marathon, uh huh, USA Network, uh huh." He knows these. He's probably going, "It's Wednesday. It's an S. No, it's not. It's Thursday." I I was pretty sick yesterday, so I was out of it most of the day. A couple people sent me messages after Tuesday stream going, "Were you okay? You look really pale." Like I am not feeling the greatest, but I'm feeling much better today. So
Oh, that's good.
in the chat, because it looks like we have 5 people in the chat, what are your
Yeah.
guilty pleasure TV shows? I want to know. We want to know what your guilty pleasure TV shows are. Is it one that you watch when like no one else is in the house? Like is it, or like me where like your spouse or your kids don't like the show so you have to binge watch it when you're alone? We want to know. We want the dirt.
Yeah. Like when I was younger, I would watch talk shows and my parents would be like, "Why are you watching that?" I'd be like, "Because it's on."
Because we have limited channels, Mom, and this is what is on it. Because Sesame Street's now over. And this is what came on next.
Yeah.
And I'm too lazy to get up and turn the channel.
Yeah. It's like, it's
Or-
weird because back then, like, we were limited channels, and now you've got like dozens of channels to choose from. And it's like, what on earth?
Well, but back when we were kids, like some of these channels were all like you paid for them.
Yeah.
Like you got their basic channels, and then like if you wanted Disney Channel, it was an extra charge. If you wanted Nickelodeon, it was an extra charge. If you wanted Food Network, it was an extra charge. And then you started going to um you went away from the antennas and you started going more into the digital cable.
Yeah.
And so that, I remember, and you'll remember this too, when Nickelodeon became a free channel. You didn't have to
Yeah.
pay for it anymore.
Yeah.
And it's like we got a letter from the TV company stating that Nickelodeon would be on channel whatever it was,
Yeah.
16, I think. And yeah, it was channel 16 for Nickelodeon. And it would be free starting on such and such day. Let me tell you, I was a pretty excited person.
Yeah. Yeah. We had basic TV for years. It took my parents a long time to cave in and actually get cable because my mom needed the internet speed for her business. So, and the only way we could get the faster internet speed was getting cable. So my dad was like, "Okay, we're getting cable." It's like, yes.
Yes. Bye, Anna. Thanks for dropping in. I hope your work meeting is fun. Anna says, I don't have a particular TV show per se, but she loves British period dramas. Those are always good. And Jenny says she loves binging Gilmore Girls.
That's a good TV show.
It's another one that Sam hates. Monty Python and the Holy Grail.
Okay. Yep.
Are you, you don't like Monty Python, do you?
Well, I've heard of it, and my friends
You've never
talk about it.
seen it.
I've never seen it, so my friends talk about it all the time.
Oh my gosh. Okay, you are on quarantine. You have to find Monty Python and the Holy Grail. There's a whole bunch of them, but you have to watch Monty Python and the Holy Grail. And you have to do a reaction video to it afterwards because it's British humor. It's dry British humor. It's stupid British humor, and it is hilarious. Like the start of it, like it's supposed to be about King Arthur and the knights and their search for the Holy Grail.
Yeah.
And then instead of being on horses, they like kind of act like kids that pretend they're on ponies, and they clap together coconuts.
Christine says Doctor Who. That's a really good show.
I've
That's a really
actually
good
never seen Doctor Who. I know that Tina from Team Marie Photography is going to be doing a Doctor Who collab coming up. So if you want in on that, Roxana, you should shoot her a message. I think it's like crafting or doing something with Doctor Who. Yep, Jenny says you just need coconuts. Oh, oh my gosh, I took British Lit for a college class for my senior English class,
Yeah.
and really, because you're in a college class, it's kind of on your own work. You do it at home anyway. And our British Lit teacher was awesome. She just put on Monty Python for us, and we watched it during class. It was, and you don't in high school. You don't get along with everybody, but I mean, like, there's something special about being in a college class in high school. At least for me, it was because I'm not that smart. I barely passed my ACTs, y'all. Um, and but I did horrible on the math part, but I did great on the English stuff, which helped boost my
Yeah.
score. But literally, all we did for British Lit was sit and laugh at Monty Python because we watched it every class period because we're like, Monty Python again, Monty Python again. It's addictive, and it's so stupid that you laugh at it. You have to watch it. It is a mandate now. You have to watch it.
Yeah, I will for sure after this. I'll go look it up somewhere.
I wonder if I don't think it's on Netflix. I don't think it's on Netflix or Hulu, but you sometimes you can rent movies from YouTube. Let's see.
I wouldn't be
Montana.
surprised.
Go ahead.
I wouldn't be surprised if I could find it on YouTube.
One of the best parts is like, yes, you can rent it. You can rent the movie on YouTube. Um, and one of the best parts is like it's supposed to be like during the Black Plague, and so the guy's coming by with this cart. He's going, "Bring out your dead! Bring out your dead!" and banging the sign. And like you may have seen memes about this with coronavirus.
Yeah.
But this guy's dragging his dad out, and the dad's going, "I'm not dead. I'm not dead. You will be in a week. It's okay." And the guy who's carting the bodies was like, "I can't take him. He's not dead." He's like, I can't remember like if he pays him or is there something you can do? One of them bops the guy on the head and he throws him on the pile and keeps going. And it's so horrible, but like he's like, "I'm not quite dead yet. It's okay. You will be in a week." Yeah, it's so bad. It's funny. Oh, Christine says it is on Netflix. Good to know.
Okay.
Okay, awesome. So I'm gonna have to watch that later because I have Netflix. It's on my TV and not my phone. But oh my, it is just, and like you have to go into it with an open mind that this
Yeah.
it was a it's not even a I think it's a C or D level movie. Very, very limited budget. So not all you're going to have to watch it a couple times for it to all make sense. And you just have to have an open mind going, okay, this is British humor, it's going to be stupid, but it's going to be funny. And you can't go, what are they doing? You just have to go, what? And just kind of roll with it. Jenny says British Lit 1 failed it twice, finally passed third, somehow got an English degree. That's awesome. That's hilarious. So, on to some Disney stuff. So,
Yeah.
everyone is in like super excited mode because today at 4 o'clock, Universal City Walk has limited restaurants and shopping and stuff that open.
Yeah.
And then next week, I think it's the 20th.
Yeah,
Next
the
Wednesday, I
20th.
think limited stuff opens in Disney Springs, and it's all third party
Yeah.
on the 20th. But and I haven't read the article quite yet from KTP, Kitty the Pirate. But supposedly like the Disney stuff should be opening not far after, the 20th.
Yeah.
So, but like it's mandatory temperature checks and you have to wear masks. Right? What do you think about? Do you think it's too soon to be reopening? Do you think it is kind of right on target? Do you think they're doing it the right way? What are your thoughts?
Um, you know, I know a lot of people are like it's too soon. But at the same time, you've got those cast members that work at Disney Springs that have been out of work for quite some time now, and it's like, so I'm kind of like I see both sides where it can be too soon, but it gets hot in Florida, and heat will kill the virus, so it's kind of like, well, no matter what Disney does, they're going to get criticized for it. So it's kind of just like, it is what it is. Um, Personally, I'm really excited because at least it's something Disney that is opening. It may not be like everything all at once, but I'll take something over nothing, you know.
Right, exactly. A lot of people are like, "Oh my gosh, this is such good news. This this means that maybe the theme park's going to be opening up." I disagree with that part. I don't see this as being, okay, well, we've opened Disney Springs, now we're going to open the theme parks. Um, they have been accepting resort reservations starting June 1st, but they're no longer
Yeah.
accepting for June. They've started accepting for July. So
Yeah.
there's since I'm in so many different travel agent groups, there's talk on both sides of um well, maybe this means that for June they're at like the resorts are at capacity. Like they're not going to be opening up the full resorts for capacity. And so now that they've reached their capacity for June, maybe they're moved on to July and then, August and whatever. But, we still don't nothing has been confirmed by Disney of when they're opening. Same with Universal or SeaWorld or
Yeah.
Legoland or anything like that. But I do think that it is a positive start to say, hey,
Yeah.
well, something is at least starting to open. And I did read somewhere that they have recalled all the custodial staff back to the
Yeah.
parks.
Yeah.
So I'm sure right now they're just getting uber amounts of training on like
Yeah.
this is now what we're going to be doing to clean. um, oh, interesting. Jenny says saw on Twitter a friend's Fort Wilderness reservation June 1st got canceled. Were they staying at the Wilderness Lodge or were they staying at the campgrounds? Because I can actually see them keeping the campgrounds closed a lot longer than the resorts because um especially with like RVs and porta potties and that type of stuff, the campgrounds are so massive that I can see it taking a lot to make sure that those stayed clean more than like the resorts that are like it's buildings instead of if you've never been to Fort Wilderness campgrounds, it's massive and
Yeah.
they're like little porta like they're outhouse types like when you're going to the lake
Yeah.
or something. And
Yeah. Yeah.
so that would be super hard to keep clean. Plus you have those dump sites for RV waste.
Mhm.
Um I can see them keeping the campgrounds closed longer than the resorts. So
Yeah.
I'm curious to know, Jenny, was your friend were they at the campgrounds or were they at Wilderness Lodge?
Yeah. I can cuz I've seen Wilderness Lodge and I've driven past it before, and I've seen like videos of what the lodge looks like, and I, I can definitely say the campgrounds will probably be closed much longer than the lodge because the lodge has more room to like space people out so that everyone's not right on top of each other. Where at the campgrounds, you're a little bit closer to your neighbor who you don't know if they're sick or not. So
Oh yeah, Jenny says I'm guessing it was a campsite because she referenced taking the Girl Scouts. She posted a screenshot about it also. Okay, yeah, I'm guessing that that's the campgrounds, and yeah, I'm guessing that the campgrounds
yeah,
are going to be closed for a. They will be like and like I said, this is a personal opinion. I don't know any information. I know just as much as you guys. I learned the information about the same time as you guys do. I can see the campgrounds being the last thing to open. Like the resorts open, the theme parks open in stages, then opening the campgrounds. Just because of the massive amount of like how spread out it is and like the immense amount of time it would take to make sure like all of the restrooms at the campsites and stuff were clean.
yeah. I could definitely see that happening. As far as parks go, I see Epcot being the last park because of the World Showcase, and there's a travel ban still, and
Yeah.
there's no way of knowing when they will be able to rehire cast for the international, and all the international people would have to be not only rehired, they would have to rehire international people, but they would have to train them on all the precautions and guidelines that they have set. And
Well, and then they'd have, once they got here, they'd have to be in quarantine for at least 2 weeks, and they probably would have to have random temperature checks.
Yeah. What I wanted to know is where the temperature checks are going to be for Disney Springs. I've heard people guessing. I've heard people guessing right at the parking lot before you enter.
That's actually a good question. I can see it being like before you go in, but that potentially could cause a traffic backup. I could see it being like once you park, like you cannot get out of your car until you have been temperature checked.
Yeah.
And instead of like making it a free for all, you just park wherever. Like they will be like when you go to park in the parking lots at the theme parks, they have somebody to guide you and they point you which parking spot to park in. I see them doing that in the parking garages because then they can temperature check anyone in the car before they let you out of your car.
Yeah. Yeah. I think they might, with the parking garage, I think they might purposely put cones on blocking off which parking space so that people don't, park there, because if you keep all of the parking open and you don't say which parking you can go to, people are just going to be parking right next to each other, and that's going to be bad.
I can see them like putting like having a car park, having 2 spaces open and then a car park, and 2 spaces open and a car park to help with distancing. Jenny says we're skipping Epcot for our August trip because I'm not thinking it'll be open or at least at full capacity. I agree, and it makes me worried about Food and Wine Festival because that typically starts in September.
Yeah.
I don't know if they'll be able to get enough, because a lot of that is international cast members that work the Food and Wine Festival because it's in World Showcase.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if they're gonna hold off on their festivals until next year.
Orlando Night, hello. Yeah, I can see them holding off on festivals until next year because the festivals like really crowd people in, and I can see them not doing that with because of the concerts too. I haven't heard anything about but I don't remember if there's concerts for food and wine. I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
My brain's broke. Bright suns to you, Orlando Mike. How are you doing? I wanted to say I love your new logo. They better not cancel Food and Wine. That's my favorite festival. Well, I know that they're still selling the run bibs for Food and Wine, so
yeah.
I think right now it's a day by day. We just have to wait and see what's going on.
Yeah.
And Food and Wine does bring in a lot of locals. And there are concerts. Okay, I thought there were. Thank you, Jenny. Jenny keeps me on track. But yeah, I see both sides of it. The festivals bring in a lot of people, which does not help with social distancing. However, it does bring in the cash flow, which Disney, all of the parks are desperately needing right now. They need that cash flow.
Yeah.
But then it just takes one person being sick to completely shut everything down, and it could shut down it permanently if that.
Yeah. So it's just like, and like I get where people are saying where it's like, oh, it's too soon, or Disney should wait until next year. Here's the thing: if they wait until next year to open up all of the parks, cast members will be quitting left and right, and they won't have anyone to be at the parks to attend to guests. And
if they close until next year, there won't be a Disney World to go back to.
yeah,
I mean, let's be honest.
yeah, like you would see their cast member dropping quite significantly because Disney, they rely on their cast members because the cast members are the ones that making the magic. So it's just like no cast members to keep the parks running, no Disney. So they got to open up sometime this year, whether if it's during the summer or if it's during the fall. Then it's just, whatever guidelines Disney has. I'm sure they're going to be rough at start, but they'll make adjustments and tweak what needs to be tweaked as time goes on.
Agreed.
I think Disney might do soft openings with cast members only first to kind of ask them their opinions because they're the ones that have to deal with all this.
Right.
So I think they'll do a soft opening with cast members only first, and then get feedback from them, and then they might do maybe another soft opening with annual pass holders and Florida residents, and kind of get opinions from them, and then open up to everyone else.
Right. Mike says, I know the food and the concerts are the only reason I go to Food and Wine. I love collecting artist autographs and getting photos with them. Plus the food is awesome. Agreed. I love the loaded mac and cheese, and it's like heaven in your mouth. And I sometimes dream about that mac and cheese.
Yeah. So definitely the festivals are something that are on my bucket list. I haven't been able to do the festivals at all, especially when I did work there. I was working. So it's just like anytime. And the festivals, obviously they were happening all day, but by the time I would have gotten off, it's just like, where's my pillow?
Well, and we're tired of people at that point.
Yeah.
You wanted some quiet and away, and you're like, the last place I want to be is where everyone is at, which is the festival.
Yeah, and I had one of my roommates. She said that was her when I did the Disney College program. She said that she had done the Disney College programs of a few more times in years past, and that she used to work at Epcot. And when she worked at Epcot, she worked at Innoventions, and Innoventions would get drunk people coming from the World Showcase because of Food and Wine. And it's just like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that. It's like, oh, bless you for dealing with those people, because I'm the worst people to be dealing with really drunk, stupid people.
That's awesome. Jenny sent me a photo. That's interesting, Jenny. I haven't heard. That's interesting because I haven't heard anything on my end from as a travel agent. So interesting.
Yeah. And I'm sure Kelly hasn't even heard anything, and she works with DVC, so
right.
When Kelly finds out, everyone else in the Disney community will be like, "Hey, Kelly, so what's the information?"
Right.
Yeah, because anytime Kelly finds out information that Disney releases, the Disney community is always the first group of people that she's sharing things with, and she's like, "Thank you, bless your soul."
Now I'm updating the National Pizza Party collab photo because somebody wasn't going to be able to do it. So it's tomorrow. Mike says, I loved the chicken noodle dish and the pomegranate beer from Germany Pavilion last year, and meeting Joey Fatone, Chris Kirkpatrick, Baha Men, and Hanson last year was awesome. Oh, and Ryan Cabrera. Cool. I don't know who. I can tell you who, like, 2 of those are.
I could tell you who Hanson is. We're showing our age.
We are. Bop, 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 doo-doo-dop, ba-doo, bop, doo-dop, ba-doo. Yay. Whatever screen Christy was on last night, it said, I guess she was blue because she said, Christy's Corner, I'm blue dabba dee. So I was thinking, I'm blue dabba dee dabba da, dabba dee dabba da, dabba dee. I was like, wow, such my childhood. Jenny says, I did hear on another stream some DVC was open for bookings in June, but they weren't sure if it was a fluke or it's legit. Yes, I spend way too much time looking at this. Well, so do I. So it's okay. Mike says, like, ever since last year's Food and Wine, it's become a tradition for me to meet as many of the singers at the festival and also the host of Camel Processional. That's really cool, Mike. Have you done a video on that? Because that would be really interesting. Like, even if it's like just talking about like who you've gotten to meet and like showing like your autographs and your photos, that would be really cool. Either the video or a live stream.
Yeah, I know for the holiday festival, I know Neil Patrick Harris does it every single year. Whoopi Goldberg does it every single year, and a few other people that are I'm just drawing a blank do it every single
Did you
year.
say
And
Did you say Neil Patrick Harris?
yes,
Okay. My
and
headphones went out.
I had that happen to me this like earlier in the week. I'm like, wait, people are lagging because I was on a Zoom call earlier in the week. I'm like, people are lagging in my ears. So it's just like I want to do the holiday festival one and be able to catch Neil Patrick Harris because I love his stuff. I love everything that he does, and it's just like I just want to be able to be like vlogging and be like, hey.
Actually, Orlando Mike had a video taken down, because was it at SeaWorld or was it at Epcot? Like it was a stream, it was a live stream or a video, I can't remember what you said it was, but like of one of the performers, and the performers dinged it.
Really?
And so like, yeah, they like did a copyright, it wasn't a claim, it was a copyright strike.
Wow.
And I'm like, what did they do? Go through every single, like, search it and give everyone that did that a strike? Like, copyright strike against them? I mean, I felt bad for you. Joey
Yeah.
and Chris are members of NSYNC. Bahaman made the song "Who Let the Dogs Out." Oh, okay. Well, that I vaguely know that. And I met Neil Patrick Harris, Whoopi Goldberg, and Alton Fitzgerald. Wait, oh, that's cool. I also met Gina Davis, the mom from Stuart Little, but she was, oh, well, that's, sometimes actors and actresses just seem that way, just because they have to
Yeah.
keep up appearances.
Yeah, that's interesting that a live stream got taken down. I mean, I could see if it had copyright music, but if it's like a
Yeah,
live
it was one.
perform,
Like it was like a live stream of one of the concerts. It was Epcot. I streamed the Guess Who at Epcot and the original singer who no longer performs with the band and claimed it as infringement and got the video ban and a stream ban for 3 months. There you go.
that's messed up.
Because I guarantee Mike was not the only person filming. I felt really bad for you, Mike.
Yeah, that's crazy because it's a live performance and you're hearing them like singing live and playing live. It's not like a track being played over them and they're pretending to be live. So it's just like that's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I felt really bad for you, Mike. It is actually sunshiny here today, but starting at 4 o'clock, Jay says he must have been hunting for money. That's my guess. It is super sunshiny here today. But about 4, it's supposed to start pouring down rain again. It's like, come on.
No, it's overcast over here, and the only reason why I look really bright is because I have all of my lights on in my room, and I have like the blinds open to let in whatever natural light is.
The only light I have on is my overhead light, and I have
Yeah,
the windows kind of open. So
yeah. I've got my overhead light, and then I've got a lamp that I got from Target in a corner that's on, and then I've got my window open.
Mike says that's why I had to make a temporary channel to use for the 3-month ban, but I'll be able to use my main channel on June 11th. Awesome. And no, I wasn't the only one there. Another DizTube friend of mine who was sitting right next to me at the show, I streamed, didn't get his video pulled or banned. See, I don't know. I'm sorry, Mike. That's a bummer. You got the short end of the straw on that.
Yeah. It sounds like they were just out to get more money for a live performance.
Yeah. So it's been almost an hour. I can't believe it. It always goes so fast. So what do you have coming up for your channel, Roxana?
I have the last and final part of my entire ear collection. Part 3 is coming out, and then I have a live stream. I have a live stream on my channel that's going to be Saturday night. I forgot what today was. Like, today Friday or and I'm like, wait, no, it's Thursday. So Saturday night, 8 p.m. Walt Disney World time, 7 p.m. my time. I'm going to be doing a live stream. I've got 2 special guests, and we're going to be talking about the Disney College program because earlier I had posted on the Disney Facebook group asking who has done the Disney College program, and that I was looking to do a live stream talking about it. And I got some responses, and I was able to get 2 people to say jump on board and say yes, they would do a live stream. So look
Cool.
out for that. Yeah, so I'm excited for that. I Other than that, I don't have I do have a box swap, but that might have to get pushed back because not everyone has their boxes. So I don't want to be that jerk who's like, well, I don't care if everyone doesn't have their boxes. I want to make sure everyone's got their boxes. So um yeah, so that's what I have coming up.
Um, and tomorrow is National Pizza Party Day, and I hosted a collab, so make sure to be watching for that video coming out tomorrow. I will be live tomorrow with trivia since Monday didn't work out very well, and I didn't stream last Friday. Tomorrow will be Mighty Morphin Power Rangers trivia. So be excited about that. And then I am going to do a special stream on Saturday at noon Central Standard Time. Just kind of Saturday chat. I might get Sam to jump on with me, and we may talk some Disney. We may talk some Universal. We may talk some upcoming trip ideas. At this point, I can't even give confirmed trip plans because it tends to change on a daily basis. So I might get him on there. If not, I will talk upcoming trip ideas. So, with
Yeah.
that being said, thank you guys all so much for being in here. I greatly appreciate it. If you are new to the channel, make sure to go check out Life with Roxana. She has a fantastic channel and she is growing like a weed. She's like fireworks going off, and I'm super happy for her. Make sure to check out each other in the chat. Orlando Mike, great channel. He does a lot of streaming from the parks when they're open. Jenny, JLB Nerdy, just started her channel kind of during the quarantine, so make sure and check her out. Well, you know what, Mike? You have missed Fresh Prince of Bel-Air and Friends trivia because I've done them both already. Let's see who else is in here. Terry Photography, Christine Hickman. Make sure and go through Anna Travels. Lots of great channels here in the chat. Thank you so much, and we will see you tomorrow for trivia. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
And again, the button